What's going on, everybody? Customizer Depot here with another video, which is which glue is best for leather. We have Bish's Original Tear Mender, the E6800, and the Barge Cement. So now we're gonna test these and put these all together. Stay tuned and watch.
That's King Craft.
Who's that?
He's a customizer. He's like one of the dudes that work with D-Nice and D-Nice.
Shout out to King Craft with a fagula. Alright, so today's video is going to be about the different types of glues that we can use for leather. And right here I have the three that I think are going to be pretty good. We use Barge on a daily basis. It's an all-purpose cement. This is Bish's Original Tear Mender. It is for fabric and leather, so it is a non-toxic adhesive. And we have the good old E6800. And it's UV resistant, flammable, non-flammable, excuse me. It's also flexible and waterproof. So once this one dries up, it's supposed to be pretty flexible. You can put it on shoes. And this is essentially what we're looking for right now. We're looking at what's the best tensile strength glue that we can do that goes leather to leather. So first things first, I have 3 strips of leather right here. And I'm gonna put one with the Barge Cement, the second with the E6800, and I'm also gonna do the other one with the Bish's Original Tear Mender. And if you didn't know, you gotta trust the Bish. Every time I think of the Bish, I always think of Winnie the Bish. Now that we have our 3 strips of leather, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these in half with our trusty, awesome ginger scissors, or as I like to call it, hing head, because there's an H in there. So we're gonna cut these in half. Why? I will explain to you in a second. So since we're gonna test the tensile strength of these, we're gonna put glue on this entire piece and leave basically like a little duck lip open. So that way, once this is dried up after about like 24 to 72 hours, I'm gonna try to pull these apart like this. So that's exactly why I'm doing this, and I'm just testing tensile strength of the glue. First, let's do what I said we were gonna do. I have the Barge Cement right here, and we're just gonna lather some on both of these, and we're gonna let it dry for a little bit, and then whilst it dries, I'm gonna read to you guys what the instructions say for these in good old English, because there's a whole bunch of languages that I don't read. So where are your directions? Alright, so the shoe must be free of oil or grease. For sole attaching, rough up shoe and sole. For best factory control results, prime both parts with Barge primer, which we did. We put both of them. Brush 1 coat on each part and let dry from 5 minutes to 4 hours or longer. Then join the parts and hammer down or put in a press for 1 minute if desired. On porous material only. 2 coat application may be used. After the soles are put on the shoes, the bond becomes stronger and stronger. If cement thickens slightly, use Barge all-purpose thinner only. So we're gonna let these dry for about 5 minutes, and then cool tip, we're gonna take a heat gun to it and then like heat up the glue a little bit and then smack them together. So now part 2, we're gonna do the E6800, and let's read the directions first before we put this mother flower on it. Alright, so we do test the small area before use, apply directly to surfaces to be bonded or repaired, allow 24 hours for curing. Maximum bond strength may not be reached for up to 72 hours. So product is paintable and immediately resistant to precipitation upon application. So that means it's said to be water resistant. So let's get this started. Alright, so we cap open that tip. You want to squeeze these guys from the bottom, because if you don't, then that sucks. So I'm going to do this because I don't have like a brush. Alright, so we're going to apply on the surface that we're working with. Let's let it sit for a little bit, the same way that we let the other one sit for about a couple of minutes. I'm gonna cap this up. Now we're gonna go to Bish's original tear mender. Let's see. Tear mender is waterproof, permanent, quick drying, flexible, UV resistant, acid free, for use on clothing, leather, upholstery, home decor, sport, marine, indoor, and outdoor. So the general use of directions will be: shake before use. Spread a thin layer of tear mender on to a patch or the item being repaired. For thicker material, apply to both surfaces. Press the two surfaces together and allow to dry. Dries in 3 minutes. Machine washable in 15. So best if used within 12 months of purchase. Spot test on light fabrics. So basically this is probably said to be the quickest one. Let's follow the instruction. We apply the tear mender from Bish's original. That's pretty watery. I did shake it. Very watery. So now let's spread it together. Whoa, that's quick. Alright, so now we're gonna do this one because it's said to be very, very quick. Let's put it together. This one's really messy, by the way. Really messy. Or is it me, the person with the problem? I'm not gonna blame that. I'm gonna blame me for being messy. Alright. There you go. Now let's press it for a little bit. Alright, but what's cool about it is that it's glue. It just comes right off when it goes onto the surface area that you're working on. And now we're gonna put together the E6800. And then we're gonna put these two together, and then we're gonna hit them with the blow, with the heat gun. You see that starts to glue itself together with these two pieces. So let's go get the heat gun. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press these guys together, and the best way to do it is with some clamps. Alright, I got these clamps. Oh, that was a bad place to put those. Alright, so I have two pieces of wood right here that I'm going to clamp these things in between. So let's put them in between the two clamps. Oh, I'm not going to use these because I have these. So now that is clamped up and the pressure is being applied, to the leathers, putting them together. So now we're just gonna let it sit for a couple of minutes, probably like about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and show you what that tensile strength is then, and then we're gonna show you in about like 24 hours, and then 72. So stay tuned. So here we have the three. We have the tear mender right here. We also have the E6800, and we have the Barge Cement right here. And just at a quick little glance, this is the tear mender after being clamped down. This is the E6800. It's beginning to separate. The Barge Cement doing the same motion and pulling just a little bit harder. It's a little bit more difficult to separate. So far after test phase 1, Barge Cement seems to be the top dog out of these three. So then what we're gonna do is we're just going to keep them in a warm place and then wait 24 hours and then come back and then see what happens. Okay, great. Do me a favor. Turn that light on and shine it this way. There you go. Okay, so we are back again at the end of 72 hours. So we had the entire weekend to let these dudes dry. I have the Barge Cement, and then I also have the E6800 and the Bish's original tear mender. Alright, so this one goes on clear, this one goes on white, and this one goes on yellowy. So right here, I did two of the Bish ones because I felt like I messed up a little bit. So right here, the Bish tear mender, I didn't apply it properly, so I felt like I needed to give it a second shot, which was this one right here. First thing, let's talk about the flexibility between both the pieces of leather that are attached here. And it's very flexible. It just seems a little like you can feel like there's something in between, but not too much. And now let's check out the Tensile Strength. Again, this is the first one. I'm going to show you the second one. And this is me pulling at a good. I'm clenching my teeth a little bit. Yeah. So this is good. The Bish is good. Let's do the other one that I did. This one feels a little bit better. The new one that I stuck together, and that's me. That's, you know, I'm trying to tear it apart, and it's doing a really good job of holding, which is pretty good. Now goes the Barge Cement. With the Barge Cement, it's not as malleable or pliable as the other one, but it's still pretty soft. Like, you can still bend it. And don't forget that these are thicker pieces of metal, of leather. So let's try to tear these motherfuckers apart. So I got through just probably about 1/8 of an inch separating it, but it's doing a pretty good job of holding it together. Now let's go for the E6800. I feel like the E6800 is a little bit, it's in the middle between, actually this might be the lightest one between all of them. I am using a different piece of leather. It's a little bit thinner, but this one I'm trying to really separate it. So yeah, that took a lot of force to get through, and it actually stayed together, if you can see. it stayed together. It just ripped the leather in half, and the leather is still pretty much contained into itself. Now I'm gonna try to rip the Bish one. I kind of like how that E6800 came out. All right, so once I got it, once you open the pickle jar, then it just opens it up. So now I'm just gonna really try to do the barge. Barge, I'm in fucking trouble. Yeah, man, that was tough. That was tough. So in between these two, I feel like the Bish may have come in third. It's a really close call between the Barge Cement and the 6800. So I don't know. Now we're gonna have to test it on shoes and see what happens. Basically, again, what we were just doing is checking the tensile strength on these three different leather or adhesives that we can use on leather. And so far, I'm really liking these two. I do like the Bish. But if we weren't doing anything crazy, I feel like this is something that, again, it advertises that it dries in 3 minutes and it's machine washable in 5. So if you're probably like on a runway or doing something quick and you need to do some very quick adhesive jobs, putting some leather together or any type of fabric, I feel like this would be your best bet. The Bish's tear mender is your go-to for something quick and that you need to do, that you need to use when you're at like certain types of events. If you're doing personal, professional type jobs, I feel like these two are the way to go. So this in particular, I feel like the Barge Cement is pretty well known in the sneaker community. Everybody pretty much uses Barge. I haven't, again, really used the E6800 for anything sneaker related, but I feel like the Bond would do pretty well. It does say that it's water impermeable, so it should do well in water. But again, that's something that we're just gonna have to test out over time. We will be making more videos on all three. Again, I feel like I'm gonna be doing a lot more work with the E6800. Since we're doing a lot of nylon and leather work, we're doing things like this where we have to get the nylon to have adhere with the leather, so that way you can put it on your wrist or anywhere. So these would be some really great options to use in your business. But again, I think I like the E6800 because it's a little bit quicker drying than the Barge. The Barge is a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated with the Barge, I thought, because you have to wait, you have to give it that grace period. We like to heat it up afterwards just to make sure that everything's running smoothly. We heat it up and then we stick it together. So I don't know. I like both of them, but again, we're just gonna have to do a little bit more trial and error with sneakers or slides with the E6800 and the Barge. I really wouldn't. I'm not saying that I wouldn't trust the Bish's original tear mender with some slides, but I would have to. We would have to do some more. We would have to do some more trial and error with these guys. But that's pretty much the video. If you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. And let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to put together. I'm gonna try to do some Louis Vuitton leather or some Gucci in the next one. So we'll see what the deal is with these guys. All right. So have a great day. Later.